Hey everybody, I'm John Granado. That's Lance Zierlein. You can hear us mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Lance, you heard Sean Payton on Colin Cowherd talking about the possibility of coaching for the Texans. It sounded really positive to me. He sounded like he knew. I mean, he was very open to it. And I think the Texans might be one of the better jobs that's open right now, if you want to know the truth, of the 5 jobs with all their draft capital. And he talked about that, being in this division and all of that stuff. If all things were equal, and you didn't, let's say you didn't even have to give up a pick for him, is that a no-brainer?
Oh, yeah. If you didn't have to give up a pick, it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, I get the excitement of the young, unproven coaches, but who are play callers. But Sean Payton had a lot of success with the Saints. He had, this guy has won at the highest level. He did great with a quarterback who was a young quarterback at one point, and Drew Brees did an outstanding job guiding him to what is going to be a Hall of Fame career, and he understood how to win. And I think that you look at Doug Peterson and what he's doing right now in Jacksonville, there's something to be said for coaches who know how to do it. It's not always the most exciting thing because we know about these guys. There's not the great unknown, kind of like the backup quarterback. Everyone's really excited about that guy. If all things were equal, it would be Sean Payton. But, John, all things are not equal.
No.
You do have to give up draft capital. And based on what Sean Payton said, John, probably your 12th pick. Is that something you'd be comfortable with?
Well, let's talk about that, and I've got another option for you. But first, I want to talk about cold, clean, crisp, refreshing Coors Light. Look, I don't know what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. You can tell I've got some golf attire on today. You know what's going to happen? Coors Light. If I didn't have golf attire on today, you know what would happen? Coors Light. You know why? It's because it's my favorite beer. And listen, if you put the kind of time and effort I do into it, it'll be your favorite beer too. Just try it. If you haven't tried it yet, just give it a try. Because I'm telling you, it's got a taste that's different than the other ones. You're going to love it. Cold, clean, crisp, refreshing Coors Light. Keep Texas chill. All right, Lance, 12th pick. I'm going to tell you I don't want to do it. I don't want to give up the 12th pick. I know when you put a name on it, we see who that person is, and then when you see it, you go, oh, yeah, Sean Payton would be a better but then there's also a really good player. And this team right now needs a lot of good players. I would rather have the 12th pick. You?
In theory, without thinking about it, I would say I'd rather have the pick 2. But then when you think about the difference a coach makes, we already know the ownership's not going to be great. So it needs to be great from, you need it works from the top down. So if it's going to skip past ownership, at some point, Nick Caserio hasn't proven to be that guy. At some point, you got to find somebody who is that dude. And I don't know if it's I look at the draft board that I'm writing up, and there's a few guys I haven't written up who are going to be, a couple of top 12 picks. But I'm telling you, the way this draft is starting to shape up, I don't think it's a great draft. And I look at who number 12 could be, and I'm starting to think maybe that would be worth Sean Payton if it just stops there. I'd love to have the player, but I think having a coach who knows how to win and knows how to change culture has become so important. The Bill O'Brien stuff just – it did its damage, and now you've had 2 one-and-dones. You're not building anything. It's just a bunch of guys in a locker room. They're starting over with a brand-new coach right now. I'm starting to think maybe it would be based on who I believe will be there at 12. That maybe there's not the same value of player at 12 than in years past.
Unfortunately, well, I know that the Texans are doing their homework on this draft, and they've got a projection of who that number 12 pick will be, and maybe they will have a better idea of who that is going to be and whether or not that is worth Sean Payton. That does come into it. How about if I told you this? Give up the Browns' future, the Browns' number 1 pick next year instead of this Browns pick. Would you do that one?
I would. Yeah, I would. I think the Browns with Deshaun Watson will be better next year when he's got an entire offseason to work. Yeah, I would rather do that. I expect them to be somewhere between 16 at the worst and probably 24 at the best. So, yeah, I'd do that. I would consider doing that. And that's one of the, it's mid to late round. It supposedly should be in consideration. They may ask for, if they do next year's pick, they may ask for another pick this year from you. Would you give up your 3rd and Cleveland's pick next year?
I'll give up maybe my 4th and Cleveland's pick next year.
All right. What if they said, no, we'll take 2nd?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Nope, sorry. You're not getting
who
a
you
first and a
hiring?
second. You're not getting a first and a second for Sean Payton. Sorry.
hiring?
Listen, and they want somewhere that's going to be in the middle. And if you want, or you're a betting man, so let's say something happens to Deshaun, it could be a pretty high pick.
It could be.
It could be. So you never know where that pick is going to be. I don't think they're a playoff team next year. So if I'm the Saints and I don't get a better option, I'll take that from the Texans right now.